Lahat ng drama, lahat ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging hunahan Masang Lamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Cool FM. You are listening to Cool FM, live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 4.
Good afternoon. This is Cool News at 4. I'm Carl. Let's get into the headlines. Self-confessed drug lord Rolin Kerwin Espinosa has claimed that former police chief and now Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa ordered him to implicate former Senator Laila de Lima and Peter Lim in the illegal drug trade. Espinosa said the directive came right after his father was killed in 2016. He made the statement during his testimony before the House of Representatives Squad Committee on Friday. Espinosa said it was De La Rosa who fetched him from the airport after his father, former Abura Leyte Mayor Ronaldo Espinosa Sr., was killed on November 5, 2016. The younger Espinosa was in Malaysia when this slaying happened. According to Kerwin, he, De La Rosa, who was Philippine National Police Chief at that time, and other police officers entered a bulletproof vehicle after he alighted from the airplane. November 17, when I arrived at around 11 p.m. more or less, I was fetched by local police. The one who picked me up was General Bato. He put his arm over my shoulder as we went towards the vehicle, a white Land Cruiser which was bulletproof, Espinosa recalled. When we rode the car, General Bato was in front. I was behind. I was seated between two police officers and he told me, "You admit involvement in the drug trade here in the Philippines and that I should drag along Peter Lim and Laila de Lima so that they will be pinned down," Espinosa recalled. He said De La Rosa warned him upon suffering the same fate as Espinosa Sr. if he would not follow the orders. "If I do not follow the plan, they warn me that what happened to my father can also happen to me. One member of my family will also die. I was shaken at that time. I did not know what to do," Espinosa said. In April 2022, he recanted his allegations against De Lima, which became one of the bases for the drug-related cases filed against her. According to Espinosa, his statements against De Lima were false and were merely the result of pressure, coercion, intimidation, and serious threats to his life and family members from the police who instructed him to implicate the senator into the illegal drug trade. For this, Anderson apologizes to Senator De Lima, he said. This revelation led De Lima to ask other witnesses to follow Espinosa's lead so that the allegedly trumped-out charges against her can be dropped. In June 2024, De Lima was acquitted in her last remaining drug-related case. News reports in 2016 showed that De La Rosa vowed to secure Espinosa, saying that he failed to protect his father, Espinosa Sr. Espinosa Sr. was killed in November 2016 in what the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group claimed was a shootout. The former mayor was arrested in October 2016 over allegations of illegal possession of drugs and firearms. He pleaded not to be taken to the sub-provincial jail in Baybay City as he feared for his life there, but his blood was ignored. Under the command of Superintendent Marvin Marcos, a CIDG Region 8 team conducted a pre-date operation to serve a search warrant on Espinosa Sr., whom they suspected to be giving a gun and crystal meth or shabu inside his cell. Espinosa Sr. and other inmate Raul Yap were killed in the raid. According to the police officers, both allegedly fought against the CIDG team. A kingpin of Philippine offshore gaming operators was arrested in Laguna Province. The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission PAOCC said its agents arrested Lin Shuhan at a subdivision in Binat City on Thursday, October 10. In a report, The PAOCC said Lin used the identity and passport of an individual named Lao Yudong and operated under aliases Bogo, Boga, Xiaolong, Apao, Pahao, and Hao Hao. The PAOCC report also noted that Lin arrived in the Philippines in 2016 and has set up alleged scam farms in Iloilo region, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Cebu, and Metro Manila. He is who we can say is the kingpin of the Pogos in our country. He came here in 2016. Since then, he set up Pogos in Region 3, Region 1, Region 4, and here in Metro Manila, he's established many Pogos. PA's OCC Executive Director Undersecretary Gilbert Cruz said in an interview with Unang Hirit Online on Friday morning. PAOCC's October 10 operation in Laguna province likewise resulted in the arrest of 12 Chinese nationals and 9 Filipino bodyguards present in Lin's alleged safe house. 3 9mm caliber pistols were also seized during the raid. The sheer breadth of Sung Han's operations illustrates not just individual criminal activities but rather a systematic issue that requires robust intervention, PAOCC said in its report. According to Cruz, Lin's name was mentioned in the search warrant issued against Lucky Star 99, a Poco hub based in Paracao in Pampanga province. Lucky Star 99 was raided and shuttered by law enforcers on June 4 on suspicion that it was involved in torture, human trafficking, and illegal scamming activities. We still have yet to unmask the true godfather of all Pogos in the Philippines. Our belief is that Alice Guo or Guo Huaping is merely a front of the criminal criminal organization. OCC spokesperson Winston Cassius said during a press conference Friday, October 11. There is almost nothing that would come from the mouth of Guo Huaping that I would personally believe nor we would believe as an agency, he added. Guo, the ousted mayor of Bambang Town, has been linked to a Pogo hub in Bambang Tarlac, where 371 Filipinos and 497 foreigners were rescued during the March 13 raid over alleged human trafficking, because she probably knew she was still in the Philippines. At the hearings, Alice usually only mentions those who are no longer in the country, those who have already gone abroad, he pointed out. Moving forward, it's imperative the authorities not only adopt their existing strategies but also develop comprehensive measures tailored to detect, dismantle, and prevent the proliferation of similar scams, the PAOCC said in its report presented in Inquirer.net on Friday. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. previously ordered a Pogo ban nationwide. And good news for Morocco customers out there. Customers of Manila Electrico or Morocco may have a sigh of relief as the power distributor announced lower electricity rates this month. Morocco said the power rates will drop by 0.3487 pesos per kilowatt hour for the October billing period, bringing this month's overall rate to 11.4295 pesos per kilowatt hour from 11.7882 pesos per kilowatt hour in September. This translates to a decrease of 72 pesos for residential consumers with a monthly consumption of 200 kilowatts per hour. The distribution utility set the 0.3059 pesos per kilowatt hour reduction in the generation charge cost to decline in the October rates, mainly due to lower costs from the wholesale electricity spot market. WESM rates dropped by 5.1001 pesos per kilowatt hour after it completed collecting the deferred May 2024 costs ordered by the Energy Regulatory Commission and the improved supply situation in the Luzon grid. Lower WESM charges more than offset the rate increases from independent power producers and power supply agreements, rising by 1.8556 pesos per kilowatt hour and 0.1128 pesos per kilowatt hour, respectively. Both the transmission charge dipped by 0.0383 pesos per kilowatt hour, as well as taxes and other charges by 0.0145 pesos per kilowatt hour for the billing period. Meanwhile, Morocco's distribution charge remains unchanged after the 0.0360 pesos per kilowatt hour decrease implemented in August 2022. It is now 4:10 in the afternoon and Cool News at 4. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Cool News at 4. Let's continue with the headlines now. An official from the National Power Corporation, or NAPOCOR, said off-grid areas may suffer power issues, especially during the election period, if it fails to secure 11.5 billion pesos by March of next year. For 2025, we need 11.5 billion pesos to be approved. Otherwise, each billion of the deficit would result in about 2.1 hours of no power. We won't be able to buy any fuel. Fernando Martin Roxas, NAPOCOR President and Chief Executive Officer, to reporters on the sidelines of the Inland Asia 2024 Energy Conference on Wednesday. Aside from possible loan agreements, he said that they could get the additional funding if the Energy Regulatory Commission approves its application for small power utilities group power plants to impose higher rates. NAPOCOR currently operates 272 SPUG power plants across 35 provinces. SPUG provides electricity to areas not linked to the main transmission grid, with their operations mostly powered by diesel-fired generators. If ERC would not allow us to collect, we have no choice. Otherwise, we will also curtail supply, and that's bad in an election year, Roxas said. I already sent a memo to the DOE, or Department of Energy, telling them that if we don't get an approval, we have no more money to pay by March 2025, and we will start cutting operations, he added. The NAPOCOR executive stressed DOE's role in ensuring its application could advance at the ERC, especially now that it just welcomed a new officer in charge following the suspension order against ERC chairman Mona Lisa Dimalanta. The Land Transportation Office has issued a show cause order against a motorist in a viral drunk driving video at the Bonifacio Global City in Taguig City. In a statement on Thursday evening, LTO said the registered owner and driver of the vehicle, who is the same person, was summoned to appear at their central office on October 15. The driver was reported to be a resident of Santa Mesa, Manila. The incident, which occurred last September 23 along 7th Avenue and PGC, was captured on video and posted on social media sites. In the video, the driver was seen recklessly heading down a one-way street and swerving dangerously. The video has already been taken down. This is an irresponsible act that endangers the lives of road users. Fortunately, it did not result in an accident, LTO Chief Assistant Secretary Attorney Victor Mendoza said, as quoted in a statement. We will not tolerate such behavior on the road. That is why we issued a show cause order against the vehicle owner and its driver, he added. LTO said that the maximum penalty for the offense is revocation of the driver's license. The motorist was also ordered to provide a written explanation as to why he should not be held liable for cases of reckless driving, driving while under the influence of liquor or narcotic drugs, and being an improper person to operate a motor vehicle. Failure to appear and submit the written comment explanation as required shall be construed by this office as a waiver of your right to be heard, and the case shall be decided based on the evidence at hand. In the interim, your driver's license and the subject motor vehicle are placed on alarm pending this investigation, the SCO read. Meanwhile, senators on Friday said the arrest of a scam firm, Big Boss, was a major win in the campaign against illegal Philippine offshore gaming operators. This comes after the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission (PAOCC) reported on Friday morning that it arrested Lin Sung-han under the identity of Lui Dong, a key figure in establishing pogo hubs in 5 regions in the country. His arrest brings us much closer to our goal of seeking justice for the victims of crimes related to pogos and scam hubs, and accountability from public officials who enabled and tolerated these crimes, Senator Rizal de Veros said in a Friday statement. Jorge Veros, who leads the Senate's investigation into dismissed Bamba Mayor Alice Guo, or Guo Huaping, that's her real name, and her ties to pogos, expresses hope that more big bosses are arrested, namely Wen Yu, Zihang Ji, and Yu Ang Ya. While Liu Dong's arrest is a major win, we should not be complacent or reckless. Given the number of pogo hubs operated by Liu Dong, he couldn't have done this without the protection of government officials, she added. Senator Sherwin Kachilian, who is also leading the Guo Prop, likewise lauded the PAOCC operation. The latest arrest fuels our optimism that we can ripple pogos that continue to perpetuate criminalities, including widespread scams, Kachilian said in a statement. He stressed that the Filipino individuals linked to Lin must likewise be investigated, as POCC also apprehended 9 Filipino bodyguards during Lin's arrest. We expect that more people like Lin Sung-han will be apprehended by authorities in the coming days, Kajilian added. Lin's name was included in the search warrant issued against Legisor 99, a high-profile pogo hub in Porac, Pampanga that was raided and shut down on June 4 after reports of human trafficking. And now let's get into Asian and international headlines, as U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken condemned Beijing's increasingly dangerous actions in the South China Sea and voiced support for freedom of navigation as he met leaders of the ASEAN bloc on Friday. We remain concerned about China's increasingly dangerous and unlawful actions on the South and East China Seas, which have injured people, harmed vessels from ASEAN nations, and contracted commitments to peaceful resolution of disputes, Blinken told Southeast Asian leaders gathered in Laos. The United States will continue to support freedom of navigation and freedom of overflight into the Indo-Pacific, he said. Blinken said the United States also hoped to work with ASEAN leaders to protect stability across the Taiwan Strait, where tension has risen again as China this week denounced remarks by the self-governing Democratic president. Blinken is representing the United States at the annual Southeast Asian meeting, where China has heard directly from leaders of concern about the dispute route South China Sea. The Philippines has been alarmed by violent incidents as Beijing exerts its claims in this tragic waterway. Another prominent team at the summit is Myanmar, whose military junta sent a representative to the ASEAN meeting for the first time in more than 3 years. Myanmar's delegation joined the meeting with Blinken, but it was unclear if there was any direct interaction. Blinken said he wanted to discuss the deepening crisis in Myanmar, a rare U.S. usage of the country's official name and not the former Burma. He also urged firmness against Russia's war of aggression in Ukraine, ahead of a full East Asia summit in which Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will participate. Getting into the tech news, Infrastructure, a learning technology company, announced the integration of Microsoft Reflect into its learning management system, Canvas. It aims to boost global mental wellness support for students and educators in time for World Mental Health Day, October 10. The integration facilitates social-emotional learning within the digital classroom through K-12 to higher education. As a result, Canvas users gain better access to mental health resources. Nowadays, Philippines' top-rated educational institutions use this platforms such as University of the Philippines, De La Salle University, University of Santo Tomas, the Ateneo de Manila University. Turo added a new mental wellness hub within its user community to further support its mental wellness initiatives. The Wellness Hub will become a central resource with the best practices, professional development, and the support and resource for discussing the mental health. Its structures focus on mental health reflects a broader education trend. Specifically, there is an increasing need to address students and educators' emotional well-being. UK-based mental health charity Student Minds conducted a study that reveals 57% of university students reporting having a mental health issue. 27% said they had a diagnosed mental health condition. Moreover, 30% of students said their mental well-being declined since they started attending the university. Integrating Microsoft Reflect within Canvas makes it an even more powerful platform to support student learning and well-being, said Elad Graver, Principal Product Manager at Microsoft Education. At Infrastructure, we believe mental wellness is foundational to successful learning, added Melissa Loble, Chief Academic Officer at Infrastructure. When mental health is prioritized, meaningful learning and growth can truly strive. Instructor will highlight the integration and wellness hub through October. Moreover, the company says it is dedicated to making mental health a priority during the observance of World Mental Health Day and beyond. And finally, in the entertainment news now, well, it's a serious one here. Music mogul CN Combs is set to go on trial for racketeering and sex trafficking on May 5, 2025, a judge said in a court hearing Thursday, October 10. The rapper, known as Didi, will remain incarcerated, said federal judge Arun Subramanian, after he was indicted last month on 3 criminal counts that allege he sexually abused women and coerced them into drug-filled sex parties using drugs and violence. Combs has twice been denied bail, as prosecutors have voiced concerns of witness tampering. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. As he entered the courtroom, Combs, wearing a light-colored wrinkled shirt and pants, greeted his mother and children who were attending the hearing. Prosecutor Emily Johnson said there was still more evidence to explore, noting that 96 electronic devices had been seized in March and that more charges were possible. And that is it for Cool News at 4. As always, if you have any news suggestions or feedback that you'd like to share, you can get in touch with us. At tvh.news@gmail.com. And join us again for another round of news headlines with Cool News at 6 later before my Tulugan. Until then, I'm Carlo. We will see you later for more news headlines with Cool News at 6. Good afternoon.
Gayon na lamang